Hello, everyone. Firstly, I will introduce two ideologies related to bilingual education. In the dominant language ideologies, more emphasis is placed on English than other languages. So the languages and linguistic practices other than English are often developed, and in this environment, minority language learners may be discouraged from developing their own home languages. In opposition to this, is the counter-hegemonic language ideologies, which are made up of two aspects. In fluid language practices, it shows that language learners can be encouraged to develop their literacies of two languages more equally. And in racial linguistic ideologies, it is pointing out that minority students of color may be excluded from objective linguistic practices. Now let's turn to the relationship between TESOL and bilingualism. Well, actually, in the past decades, monolingualism has dominated TESOL, which is reflected in the implementation of these language practices. However, recently, language practices in TESOL has been gradually moving from monolingualism to bilingualism. Well, as we know, within bilingualism, there are two constructive views. The monograssic view has generally influenced TESOL, which is reflected in the separation between the use of first language and second language. The heteroglossic view has, however, recently has gained much more ground in TESOL, which is reflected in the increasing adoption of translanguage. So the development of TESOL is moving from the monoglossic view to the heteroglossic view. Okay, finally, I will introduce two types of bilingual education: heritage education and transitional education. The common aspect between them is that they both focus on minority language students. The differences are that transitional education is actually a weak form of bilingual education aimed to transition students' languages from minority languages to majority languages, and this corresponds to the dominant language ideologies. But for the heritage education, it is a strong form of bilingual education, which is aimed to develop students' high levels of proficiency in their home languages, and this corresponds to the fluid language practices of counter-hegemonic language ideologies. Okay, thank you. That's all.